Please subscribe and you can download this code from description below. Title: Understanding Python Imports at the Beginning of the Main Program and PEP 8 Guidelines. Introduction. Python is a versatile and widely used programming language known for its simplicity and readability. Proper organization of your code is crucial, both for your own understanding and for collaboration with other developers. This tutorial will cover two important aspects of Python programming: imports at the beginning of the main program and adherence to PEP 8 style guidelines. We will provide code examples to illustrate these concepts. Python uses imports to include modules or libraries that provide additional functionality to your program. It's a good practice to place all your imports at the beginning of your main program. This makes your code more organized and easier to read. Benefits of placing imports at the beginning. Clarity: it's easy to see which external modules your code depends on. This clarity helps you and others quickly understand the dependencies. Avoid circular imports. Placing imports at the beginning can help avoid circular import issues, where modules depend on each other, causing confusion and errors. Consistency: following this convention is consistent with Python's recommended coding style, PEP 8. PEP 8 is the official Python enhancement proposal for code style and conventions. Following PEP 8 helps ensure that your code is readable and maintainable by adhering to a common set of rules and recommendations. Key PEP 8 guidelines. Indentation: use 4 spaces for each level of indentation. Maximum line length: limit lines to 79 characters for code and 72 characters for docstrings and comments. Use continuation lines when necessary. Imports: imports should be grouped in the following order: standard library imports, third-party library imports, and local module imports. Each group should be separated by a blank line. Witty space: use blank lines to separate functions, classes, and blocks of code inside functions. Function and variable names: use lowercase letters and separate words with underscores, *case. Commenting: use meaningful comments to explain complex or non-obvious code. Use docstrings to describe the purpose and usage of functions and modules. Spacing: always surround operators with a single space on both sides. Conclusion. Adhering to the practice of placing imports at the beginning of your main program and following PEP 8 style guidelines will make your Python code more readable, maintainable, and professional. It will also help you collaborate effectively with other developers and maintain a consistent coding style within your projects. ChatGPT. In Python, organizing your imports at the beginning of your main program is a common practice that helps maintain code readability and conformity to the PEP 8 style guide. PEP 8, short for Python Enhancement Proposal 8, is the official style guide for Python code. It recommends how to format your code for better consistency and readability. This tutorial will cover the importance of organizing imports at the beginning of your code and show you how to follow PEP 8 guidelines for importing modules. We will also provide code examples to illustrate these concepts. Readability: placing imports at the top of your code makes it easy for other developers, and yourself, to quickly understand which modules your code relies on. Consistency: adhering to a consistent import style across your code base makes your project more maintainable. Avoid confusion: placing imports at the top helps avoid confusion when a module is imported but not used in the code. PEP 8 conformity: it is a recommended practice by PEP 8, the official Python style guide. Follow these PEP 8 guidelines when organizing your imports. Imports should usually be on separate lines. Imports should be grouped in the following order. Imports should be placed at the top. Use absolute imports when possible. Use a blank line between different groups of imports. Avoid wildcard imports. Here's an example of Python code following the PEP 8 guidelines for organizing imports. In this example, organizing your imports in this way makes it clear where each module is coming from, making your code more readable and maintainable. In conclusion, adhering to the PEP 8 guidelines for organizing imports in Python is a best practice that enhances code readability, maintainability, and consistency. By following these guidelines, you make it easier for yourself and others to understand and work with your code. ChatGPT. When writing Python code, it's essential to follow best practices to maintain readability and maintainability. One of these practices is organizing your imports at the beginning of your main program. This not only adheres to the Python Enhancement Proposal 8, PEP 8, style guide but also makes your code cleaner and more understandable. Readability. Placing all your imports at the beginning of your code makes it easy for other developers, including your future self, to quickly identify and understand the dependencies of your program. Consistency. Consistency in coding style is crucial for collaboration and maintainability. Following PEP 8 and placing imports at the beginning ensures that your code is in line with community standards. Avoiding circular dependencies. Importing modules at the beginning helps to prevent circular dependencies, which can lead to unexpected behavior and hard-to-debug issues. In Python, you can use the import statement to include modules in your program. There are several ways to use import. Importing an entire module. You can import an entire module and access its functions and classes using the module's name. Importing specific items from a module. You can import specific functions or classes from a module. Using an alias. You can import a module or specific items with an alias for better readability. Let's look at an example of how to organize your imports at the beginning of your main program following PEP 8. In this example, remember to keep your code clean by separating different sections with blank lines and using appropriate comments to explain the purpose of your imports and code. By organizing your imports at the beginning of your main program, you'll make your code more readable, maintainable, and in accordance with PEP 8 guidelines. This practice will also help you avoid potential issues with circular dependencies and ensure your Python code is easy for others to work with. ChatGPT. In Python, it's a common practice to organize your imports at the beginning of your main program or script. This not only makes your code more readable but also follows the Python Enhancement Proposal 8, PEP 8, style guide, which provides guidelines for writing clean and consistent Python code. Readability. Placing all your imports at the beginning of your code allows readers to quickly understand the external modules and libraries your script depends on. It provides a clear picture of what's needed to run the script. Prevents confusion. If you import modules and libraries within your code, it can lead to confusion, especially when reading through the script. Importing at the beginning avoids ambiguity. PEP 8 compliance. PEP 8, the Python Enhancement Proposal for Code Style, suggests organizing imports at the top of your script as part of its guidelines. You can import modules in Python using the import statement. Here are some common ways to import modules and packages. It's recommended to import specific items or modules and use aliases when necessary. Avoid using wildcard imports, from module import *, as it can lead to naming conflicts and make your code less readable. When you have your own custom modules, you can import them similarly to built-in modules. Make sure to include the full path to the module, if it's not in the same directory as your main script. Let's look at an example that follows PEP 8 guidelines for organizing imports. In this example, imports are organized as follows. This structure not only adheres to PEP 8 but also enhances code readability and maintainability. In summary, Organizing your imports at the beginning of your main program, following PEP 8 guidelines, is considered best practice in Python. It helps make your code more readable, prevents naming conflicts, and ensures a consistent coding style. ChatGPT